New Black Wall Street Book Club. Evan Jefferson, brother, much love. Educating, elevating, because in knowledge is the power and we'll never give it up. Literature is for the masses. Where to put your money down, now how to watch your assets. Yeah, uplifting others is a passion. My brother Evan, he will turn it into action. New Black Wall Street Book Club. You should come read with us. Yeah, we comprehend and discuss. If we all just come together, there's no limit for us. Here comes your host, New Black Wall Street. Evan, take it away. New Black Wall Street. New Black Wall Street Book Club.
All right, beautiful day to you, beautiful people. Thanks so much for joining us here today on our episode of the New Black Wall Street Book Club, where Black folk do read. You put it in a book like Atomic Habits by James Clear, and we absolutely will find it. I'm your host, ERGJ, your certified global financial educator. I am the author of international best-selling author of the book, The Black Billionaires Club, also CEO of ERGJ Enterprises, which specializes in which is a financial education business, and we specialize in teaching you guys about money, particularly how to invest, how to make your money work harder for you than you work for it. Today, in our topic, we're going to get into, I guess you can say, section number 3, the third law, which is making it easy. What this book is, it's a book that talks about how to build your good habits and to break your bad ones. So if you're a person that's trying to improve, looking to improve your life, understand it starts with you. And the third law is talking about making it easy. As we're talking about you building your good habits, you want to make those good habits easy. And in this section, it's titled "Walk Slowly but Never Backwards." Right? Walk slowly but never backwards. Says to me, man, it's all about progress. Anyway, today's episode is being brought to you by is being sponsored by the Black Bazaar, the Afrocentric marketplace, which specializes in Afrocentric home decor, personal care products, and also Black art inspired gifts. You can shop Black with us by simply going to the website www.theblackbazaar.com, www.theblackbazaar.com. Pick you up something, support a Black-owned business, and make it do what it do, okay? All right, so guys, hey, what's going on, Miss Official Empress of the Blues? Nice to see you again. I know I haven't seen you in a while over Instagram. Thanks so much for joining. But let's get right into this thing, guys. I believe in practicing balance. 30 minutes of reading every day, 30 minutes of prayer and or meditation, and also 30 minutes of exercise. I believe if you focus on your mind, your body, and your spirit, and you're intentional about building those things up, you're going to live your best and blessed life. So let's knock out this reading for today and let's get it in, okay? So walk slowly, but never backwards. On the first day of class, I'm sorry, let me show you guys the book, by the way. So it looks like that. On the first day of a class, Jerry Uselman, a professor of University of Florida, divided his film photography students into 2 groups. Everyone on the left side of the classroom, he explained, would be in the quantity group. They would be graded solely on the amount of work they produce. On the final day of class, he would tally the number of photos submitted by each student. 100 photos would rate an A, 90 photos would B, 80 photos a C, and so on. Meanwhile, everyone on the right side of the room would be in the quality group. They would be graded on the excellence of their work. They would only need to produce 1 photo during the semester, but to get an A, it had to be nearly perfect image. At the end of the term, he was surprised to find that all of the best photos were produced by the quantity group. During the semester, these students were busy taking photos, experimenting with composition and lighting, testing out various methods in the darkroom, and learning from their mistakes. Everybody put in console, learn from my mistakes. In the process of creating hundreds of photos, they honed their skills. Meanwhile, the quality group sat around speculating about perfection. In the end, they had little to show for their efforts other than unverified theories and 1 mediocre photo. It is easy to get bogged down trying to find the optimal plan for change, the fastest way to lose weight, the best program to build muscle, and the perfect idea for a side hustle. We are so focused on figuring out the best approach that we never get around to taking action. Everybody put in console, take action. As Voltaire once wrote, the best is the enemy of the good. I refer to this as the difference between being in motion and taking action. The 2 ideas, they sound similar, but they're not the same. When you're in motion, you're planning and strategizing and learning. Those are all good things, but they don't produce a result. Action, on the other hand, is the type of behavior that will deliver an outcome. If I outline 20 ideas for articles I want to write, that's motion. If I actually sit down and write an article, that's action. If I search for a better diet plan and read a few books on the topic, that's motion. If I actually eat a healthy meal, that's action. Sometimes motion is useful, but it will never produce an outcome by itself. It doesn't matter how many times you go talk to the personal trainer. That motion will never get you in shape. Only the action of working out will get the result you're looking to achieve. If motion doesn't lead to results, then why do we do it? Sometimes we do it because we actually need to plan or learn more, but more often than not, we do it because motion allows us to feel like we're making progress without running the risk of failure. Most of us are experts at avoiding criticism. It doesn't feel good to fail or to be judged publicly, so we tend to avoid situations where that might happen. And that's the highest reason why you slip into motion rather than taking action. You want to delay failure. It's easy to be in motion and convince yourself that you're still making progress. You think, I've got conversations going with 4 potential clients right now. This is good. We're moving in the right direction. Or I brainstorm some ideas for that book I want to write. This is coming together. Motion makes you feel like you're getting things done, but really you're just preparing to get something done. When preparation becomes a form of procrastination, you need to change something. You don't merely want to merely be planning, you want to be practicing. If you want to master a habit, the key is to start with repetition, not perfection. You don't need to map out every feature of a new habit. You just need to practice it. This is the first takeaway of the third law. You just need to get your reps in. Make it easy. Well, how long does it take to form a new habit? How long does it take to form a new habit? Habit formation is the process by which a behavior becomes progressively more automatic through repetition. The more you repeat an activity, the more the structure of your brain changes to become efficient at that activity. Neuroscientists call this long-term potentiation, which refers to the strengthening of connections between neurons in the brain based on recent patterns of activity. With each repetition, cell-to-cell signaling improves and the neural connections tighten. First described by neuropsychologist Donald Hebb in 1949, this phenomenon is commonly known as Hebb's law. Neurons that fire together wire together. Repeating a habit leads to clear physical changes in the brain. In musicians, the cerebellum, critical for physical movements like plucking a guitar or pulling a violin bow, is larger than it is in non-musicians. Mathematicians, meanwhile, have increased gray matter in the inferior parietal lobe, which plays a key role in computation and calculation. Its size is directly correlated with the amount of time spent in the field. The older and more experienced the mathematician, the greater the increase in gray matter. When scientists analyzed the brains of taxi drivers in London, they found that the hippocampus, a region of the brain involved in spatial memory, was significantly larger in their subjects than in non-taxi drivers. Even more fascinating, the hippocampus decreased in size when a driver retired. Like the muscles of the body responding to regular weight training, particular regions of the brain adapt as they are used and atrophy as they are abandoned. Right? They adapt as they're used and they atrophy as they're abandoned. Of course, the importance of repetition is established in establishing habits was recognized long before neuroscientists began poking around. In 1860, the English philosopher George H. Lewes noted in learning to speak a new language, to play on a musical instrument, or to perform unaccustomed movements, great difficulty is felt because the channels through which each sensation has to pass has not become established. Everybody put in comments on established. But no sooner has frequent repetition cut a pathway than this difficulty vanishes. The actions become so automatic that they can be performed while the mind is otherwise engaged. Both common sense and scientific evidence agree. Repetition is a form of change. Each time you repeat an action, you are activating a particular neural circuit associated with that habit. This means that simply putting in your reps is one of the most critical steps you can take to encoding a new habit. It is why the students who took tons of photos improved their skills, while those who merely theorized about perfect photos did not. One group engaged in active practice, the other in passive learning, one in action, the other in motion. All habits follow a similar trajectory from effortful practice to automatic behavior, a process known as automaticity. Automaticity is the ability to perform a behavior without thinking about each step, which occurs when a non-conscious mind takes over. It looks something like this. And they got a little graph so you can't see it. So anyway, on the following page, you'll see what it looks like when researchers track the level of automaticity for an actual habit like walking for 10 minutes each day. The shape of these charts, which scientists call learning curves, reveals an important truth about behavior change. Habits form based on frequency, not time. That's important to recognize. Habits form based on frequency, not time. Let me say it again for the people in the back. Habits form based on frequency, how often you do it, right? Not time. Wow. One of the most common questions I hear is, how long does it take to build a new habit? But what people really should be asking is, how many does it take to form a new habit? This is how many repetitions are required to make a habit automatic. Now, we've probably heard, that them tell us it takes 21 days to form a new habit. What he's saying is, it's not about the time, it's about how often, it's about the frequency. How many times in those 21 days did you do that habit? That's pretty dope. There's nothing magical about time passing with regard to habit formation. It doesn't matter if it's been 21 days or 30 days or 300 days. What matters is the rate at which you perform the behavior. You could do something twice in 30 days or 200 times. It's the frequency that makes the difference. Your current habits have been internalized over the course of hundreds, if not thousands, of repetitions. New habits require the same level of frequency. You need to string together enough successful attempts until the behavior is firmly embedded in your mind and you cross the habit line. In practice, it doesn't really matter how long it takes for a habit to become automatic. What matters is that you take the actions you need to make the progress. Whether an action is fully automatic is of less importance. To build a habit, you need to practice it. And the most effective way to make practice happen is to adhere to the third law of behavior change, which is make it easy. The chapters that follow will show you how to do exactly that. Wow, so we're talking about behavior change, building a good habit and breaking a bad one. If we want to build good habits in our life, this third law of behavior change is to make those habits easy. And we'll learn about how to do that in the upcoming episodes. Here's our chapter summary, points you want to take away from our reading here today. Number one, the third law of behavior change is to make it easy. Number two, the most effective form of learning is practice, not planning. Number three, focus on taking action, not being in motion. Number four, habit formation is the process by which a behavior becomes progressively more automatic through repetition. And number five, the amount of time you have been performing a habit is not as important as the number of times you have performed it. Let me say that again. The amount of time you have been performing a habit is not as important as the number of times you have performed it. Oh man, I can't wait to get into the next chapter as we learn about how to make these good habits easy so we can live our best and our blessed life. Well, that's our time here today in the for our New Black Wall Street Book Club, Reading Rainbow 2.0. We are going through the book Atomic Habits, an easy and proven way to build good habits and break bad ones. I'm your host, ERGJ, your certified global financial educator, again, author of the book, The Black Billionaires Club, and CEO of ERGJ Enterprise. I want to say shout out to our sponsor, The Black Bazaar. Check them out at www.theblackbazaar.com. And I want you guys to remember this, that it takes a village. It starts with us. Let's build as we climb together. Walk slowly, my beautiful people, but never backwards. Until next episode, you know what time it is. Mr. DJ, hit the music somewhere. Where are we at? Oh, no, wrong page. Oh, no, I was on the right page. Here we go. Hit the music.
New. It's the New Black Wall Street Book Club. With your host, Evan Jefferson. It's time for us to go. Yeah. Now, you ain't got to leave the computer, but we encourage you to get out there and learn and apply all the things you learn at the New Black Wall Street Book Club. Yeah. The New Black Wall Street. The New Black Wall Street.